Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. See you and my companions and my children, and everybody against me. It's like you're simply a person, and I can't stand you. In this way, it appears as though there was some crazy show happening in the background with regards to the Kardashians in light of the fact that Kanye West ventured into the gathering visit and uncovered Kim for loathing on Kourtney and attempting to demolish her out of envy. Presently, Kim and Kourtney have been grinding away for a very long time at this point, and Kanye just stepped in to uncover Kim for being the antagonist in the story. You all better hang on close since there's a ton of crazy shows we need to unload here. That is where I get disappointed, and it's like, let that go. Let this individual do what you committed errors on. So one more time of the Kardashians recently dropped. What's more, tune in, they returned with an enormous detonation since they got an entire load of show with them. So, assuming you've been staying aware of the Kardashians show from the last season, then you'll realize that there was some significant pressure preparing among Kim and Kourtney. Furthermore, it got genuinely horrendous at specific places. Yet, in the event that you've been hiding in a cave somewhere and some way or another missed the show, Kourtney felt like Kim was attempting to take her spotlight due to the joint effort she did with Dolce and Gabbana just after Kourtney's wedding. Definitely, it was somewhat copycat. Or possibly that is the way Kourtney saw it, in light of the fact that Kim has unequivocally denied replicating Kourtney's wedding or attempting to take her sparkle, definitely. So this is the way everything went down. Kim collaborated with Dolce and Gabbana only 4 months after Kourtney's wedding, and individuals accept that there were a few likenesses between the wedding and the Dolce-Gabbana occasion. Kim, in any case, denied any wedding copycatting, and she even asserted that she made it clear to Dolce and Gabbana that she wouldn't contact anyone connected with Kourtney's wedding. Out of sheer regard, I assumed I was being quite careful. I didn't pick. There were such countless assortments that I needed to do. I would have accomplished something from the Madonna assortment, yet she wore something at her wedding. So I said, don't do any of that. Try not to do any of the trim that she wore at her wedding. Nonetheless, Kourtney truly didn't accept any of that since she felt like Kim was distraught for her during the wedding, and that is the reason she was attempting to take the sparkle and remove the consideration from her. She was upset at my wedding. Every other person was like, hold up, this is astounding. We're having the best time. She would never, similar to Kim, give affirmation, while Kim felt like Kourtney was being somewhat of a scoundrel. And afterward, she guaranteed that Kourtney had taken her whole wedding, alluding to her wedding to Kanye. In 2014, I got married in Italy. Also, my expression, you duplicated me by getting hitched in Italy, who performed at my wedding? Andre Bocelli, who performed at Kourtney's wedding? Andre Bocelli. You took my wedding nation, and my wedding entertainer, Andre Bocelli, is my #1 male vocalist ever. Yet I'm replicating her Dolce Vita way of life now. Blaming someone for taking your wedding nation is the sort of discussion that the greater part of us can't connect with, yet it simply makes what is happening considerably more intriguing. It was all super miserable, and the show between them was the fundamental plotline for the whole season. However, Kim ultimately apologized to Kourtney, and the two of them consented to put the show behind them. I hear you. Please accept my apologies. Please accept my apologies that my decisions put us in this present circumstance. I'm glad for the experience, yet I'm miserable and sorry that that experience hurt you since that is not what I could at any point hope to do or at any point hope to cause you to feel as such. Also, I'm miserable that, similar to me, deciding to do this would, similar to me, hurt you or our relationship. Indeed, we had all trusted that that was the last we would catch wind of the circumstances, and they would simply fix things up. Well, they're sisters, and sisters battle constantly, and afterward they make up after the battle. Also, they had both apologized to one another, and they said they planned to attempt to continue on from it. So that ought to have been the end, correct? All things considered, actually, no, not precisely. Quick forward to the most recent time of the Kardashians. What's more, not exclusively is the show not finished, yet it has additionally been raised. What's more, right now, it seems as though Kim and Kourtney are trapped in an endless fight that simply continues to get Warsaw. In the debut episode of this new season, the strain among Kim and Kourtney bubbled over during a warmed call, and it went poorly by any stretch of the imagination. Incidentally, Kourtney actually accepted that Kim was despising her at the wedding, and she brought it up once more. I couldn't be glad for me. You were unable to be content that I was the focal point of consideration and you weren't. Could it be that you feel so low about me? It seems like you are aware. I believe that you should recover profoundly and figure out why. Why do you disdain me to such an extent? Furthermore, why, definitely. Their genuine bond may be waiting for the present since it's beginning to appear as though this quarrel may very well keep endlessly rising until everything backfires. It deteriorated on the grounds that Kim then attacked Kourtney, saying that everybody discusses Kourtney despite her good faith, and that they had a gathering visit in a real sense named not Kourtney, where they generally discussed her. Every one of your companions calls us grumbling, whether you believe they're the ones going to you. They're all approaching us as an afterthought, expressing the inverse of us. So we are in general befuddled and we're on a gathering visit that is really named Kourtney. So we know and need to channel what your companions are expressing to us. You all know that this is very miserable between two sisters. There's a great deal to unload here, and the prospect of your loved ones being in a gathering visit where they talk poo about you will hurt anyone. So Kourtney was justifiably disturbed. Individuals felt like Kim was way off the mark to express that to Kourtney, particularly on the grounds that Kourtney is right now in a high-risk pregnancy. Furthermore, it got significantly more chaotic on the grounds that Kim additionally sort of indicated that Kourtney's own children discuss her despite her good faith. What's more, this made Kourtney have a breakdown. Definitely, this is only exceptionally off base of Kim to raise Kourtney's children in this present circumstance since it was extremely pointless. Great. Fans are most certainly parted over this show since certain fans are Group Kim saying that Kourtney is simply being excessively delicate and necessities to chill. That is to say, she is pregnant, yet others are immovably in Kourtney's corner, believing Kim's relaxed tossing conceals since she got with Travis and Kourtney was completely legitimate in calling her out on it, while Kim's ex Kanye just bounced into the talk and gave his 20 cents. What's more, as per a few insiders, Kanye is taking the Kourtney side on this one. So it seems as though Kanye accepts that Kim purposely preferred to provoke Kourtney in the background and then turn the tables to make herself seem to be the person in question. Presently, we as a whole realize that Kim and Kanye's separation has been completely turbulent. However, they've restrained things in the previous year or somewhere in the vicinity. Be that as it may, despite the fact that they're done taking punches at one another via online entertainment, there's still some strain between them, particularly on the grounds that Kanye is currently hitched to Bianca Tactile. The word on the road is that Kanye accepts that Kim is desirous of his union with Bianca, very much like she's envious of Kourtney's union with Travis. An insider added that Kanye accepts that the reason Kim is so envious of Kourtney is that Kourtney is right now carrying on with the existence that Kim has consistently longed for. Kanye accepts that Kim has a fixation on the spotlight since she cherishes being the focal point of consideration. At the point when she's not getting the spotlight, she simply flies off the handle. Presently, this is certainly not another thing. That is to say, Kourtney's been spilling the tea on how Kim's been treating her for a long time, and evidently it's been happening for a really long time, which could make sense of why Kourtney isn't really eager to film the show any longer. She uncovered this in a meeting where she said, "I think it began toward the end of season 14. A ton of strain is working between us. I felt like I was consistently being singled out and reprimanded. I just couldn't endure anything else." Presently, Kourtney additionally called attention to how Kim has been attempting to eclipse Kourtney and make some kind of rivalry since her relationship with Travis began getting increasingly serious. For instance, when everybody was observing Kourtney at her proposition party, Kim offered an odd remark about how their mother, Kris, was more joyful for Kourtney than she was during any of Kim's 3 recommendations. She's never had a response like that from me, and it's happened a couple of times presently. That is truly obvious. Apologies, folks. And keeping in mind that the world was all the while humming about Kourtney's awe-inspiring proposition and how delightful she and Travis were, Kim chose to open up to the world about her new sentiment with joke artist Pete Davidson. What's more, Kourtney accepts that she was simply attempting to take some of Kourtney's spotlight. Furthermore, Kim and Pete burned through no time since they were spotted together on a thrill ride. Also, in no time, they affirmed that they were a thing. However, here's the kicker: from the very first moment, it was really clear that this was only a PR relationship. They appeared to not share anything practically speaking, and fans were on to Kim's down immediately, calling her out for attempting to eclipse Kourtney's second at the center of attention.